What's going on, everybody? KingofDragons 5000 here, coming at you with another figure review. Today we'll be having a look at the Bandai SH Figuarts Dragon Ball Z Vegeta. Here we do have Scouter Vegeta in the packaging. This is of course the re-release of Vegeta with a new updated mold, so we'll call him Vegeta 2.0. Here we do have Vegeta in the packaging. You can see he does come with another Scouter, some alternate accessories right here, his hand with the Crush Scouter. On the side we have some images of Vegeta, his hands, and just other poses that you can get him in. And then we have a look at the figure itself. You can see Vegeta here. He does come with quite a few accessories, and then Nappa is sold separately, which unfortunately I don't have him yet. Still waiting for him to get shipped out. But enough about the packaging. So what we're going to do now is take a little break, get Vegeta out of the packaging, and then we'll go on to the rest of the review. So sit tight, everyone. So here we have Vegeta posing out of the packaging. Now, I did take the liberty to change out his arms for the sake of the review. He did come out of packaging with his full lit up arms. But we'll talk more about that right now. And here we do have Vegeta out of the packaging, so let's actually have a rundown of his accessories. For starters, he does come with two separate heads. He comes with the head he has on him right now, which allows you to have the Scouter on him. And he also does come with a head that doesn't have room for the Scouter, so you can have him with the Scouter or without. Speaking of the two Scouters, he does come with a Scouter that you see on him right now. You can see it does have the display and it's really nicely painted. And he also does come with a blank Scouter where it's just the glass. There's nothing right here on the glass part, which looks really nice, especially when you have him in a stationary pose. On top of that, Vegeta also does have 4 different face sculpts. He has the one he has on him right now, which is his serious face. He does come with a smirking face. He comes with a face where his teeth are gritted. And then he comes with a yelling face, which is all standard for Vegeta, which they all look really nice on the figure, so can't really complain too much about that. Like with the other Vegetas that we've seen, he actually does come with his arms crossed, so that's a really nice little detail that they threw in. Really love the crossed arms look, and like I said, that's how he comes default out of the packaging. Moving on to his hands, he does have a total of 7 hands, 3 pairs, and then a singular hand. For his hands, he does come with the 2 fist hands that you see on him right now. He also does come with 2 energy blasting hands. And then he comes with a pair of Gallic Gun hands, or key blasting hands, however you want to have it called. And then he also does come with his hand where he's crushing the Scouter, and it looks really fantastic on him. Really, really nice accessories for Vegeta. His final 2 accessories are actually his tail. We have the tail that he has wrapped around him, which pegs onto the back and pegs into itself, so it looks like it's wrapped around his waist. And then he also does come with a tail that isn't wrapped around, so it's just a free-flowing tail, which they both look really, really nice. I do like the way they came out. And that's all the accessories Vegeta comes with. Now, let's actually have a look at the figure, getting Vegeta standing up straight. Like I said, he does come with 2 different Scouters. The one on him default has all the little readouts and all the little details, which are really nicely done there. And the other Scouter is just a blank one that doesn't have all that little painted detail in it. The armor is nicely sculpted. It looks really cool. Although I really do wish they had taken a little bit of shading onto the armor. But other than that, it's still a really nice looking figure, and I can't really complain too much about it. The blue is a really nice, rich, deep blue. You can see the armor plating is really done well for the most part. There's no paint errors on mine. Moving on to his boots. They are just white boots, and you can see he hasn't done the striping on his boots yet, so that's pretty accurate to how it was in the first season of Dragon Ball Z. So with that out of the way, let's actually set Vegeta up and let's move on to his articulation, because he does have quite a bit of articulation being an SH Figuarts figure. Getting the camera pose. He does have a ball hinge in the head, and ball hinge means you can tilt his head side to side. And one problem I have noticed is the Scouter doesn't really stay on too well, so we'll just move that to the side really fast. he does tilt side to side. The hinge does work up and down, or if you turn the hinge then put his head on, you would get better tilt. He has a ball joint right here in the neck, which gives him pretty good range of movement that way. Not so much going back. Arms are on a butterfly joint, so it's on a ball that goes into his torso, which you can see gives a pretty good movement there. And then we also do have a butterfly joint, which allows the arm to come out, which is really cool. I do like that. His arms go all the way around, not at all hindered by his armor because there is a hinge right here. So if you want his arm all the way up, you can actually have that. It does break up the armor sculpt a little bit, but it's better than having his arm just being able to go up that high. Goes out. Spins at the bicep. He is double jointed at the elbow, although it's a little stiff on mine. You can see he gets pretty good range there. And then he has a ball hinge, or a swivel hinge in the hand. It has that same swiveling mechanic which we see on all the Dragon Ball Z figures, which you can have an in and out hinge, or you can have an up and down hinge. It just depends on your preference. I think he has a ball joint in the torso because it does tilt forward, side to side, and back a little bit. But you can also raise his torso up a little bit and give him a forward crunch, so that looks pretty good. And then you can rest the torso back down so you don't have to deal with any gapping issues. His armor plating right here is on a hinge, although the way they designed it, they got it right on the front, on the side side plates. But on the front plate, they actually have it a little lower, and that isn't ideal because that is going to bump up against his leg when you start moving his legs around. But his legs do go out to about that far, go up about that far. They would go further, and this is what I'm talking about. The way, how low this hinge comes down, it does butt up against his leg, so that's about as high as you're going to get his leg going, because you might accidentally turn this and snap it right off. He does have a swivel in the thigh, double jointed in the knee. No boot cut, but he has a ball joint in the foot, which gives you pretty decent range. Not the best, but it's acceptable. Really slight pivot, and then we have a toe joint. So overall, I still like this figure. He came out really well, so what we're going to do now is take a little break, get him posed for my final thoughts, then we'll wrap up this review. So sit tight, everyone. So here we have Vegeta posed for my final thoughts. Overall, I am really happy I have this figure. I know that this is technically the version 2 of this figure. I wasn't collecting the SH Figuarts line when Vegeta came out in his previous armor, so I unfortunately was not able to pick that figure up. And now it is quite a bit of money, and I'm really thankful that they released a version 2 with updated articulation. I do really like that little detail. Now, if you're wondering, yes, the alternate head does fit on the Super Saiyan Vegeta. The only problem is the skin tones don't match. So if you want to have Vegeta base form, you can do it. Just be aware that the colors aren't going to match because, you know, this is him not as Super Saiyan. But anyway, I really like this figure, and I actually picked Vegeta up on Big Bad Toy Store. He came out to about $60 with shipping, which is a pretty fair price, especially because he is a reissue technically. And I think I'd much rather pay $60 than an upwards of $150. So really glad that Bandai was able to reissue Vegeta to us, so people who missed out on his previous release were able to pick him up. With that being said, guys, I'm KingofDragons 5000, and I really do recommend the Saiyan Armor Vegeta version 2. If you're able to pick him up and you want to add him to your collection, I really recommend you do. If you already have him, I think this figure is a pass. You really don't need to have 2 Vegetas in your collection. So, with that being said, guys, I'm KingofDragons 5000. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, go check out all my other action figure reviews. All my DBZ reviews are also up, so go ahead and check those out while you're at it. As always, if there's a figure you would like to see me review, let me know down in the comments, and if it fits in my collection, I'll definitely have a look at it. And until next time, guys, I'll see you later. Take care, everyone.